Hello, my name is Grace, and I am the Evaluation Research Manager and PhD student on this program. My presentation will focus on how we plan to evaluate the participatory modeling process. But before I jump in, I thought I'd open with a quote from someone we may all be familiar with. In the wise words of Winnie the Pooh, he said, "Always watch where you're going. Otherwise, you may step on a piece of the forest that was left out by mistake." This quote is quite applicable to our program evaluation as we're aiming to adopt an inclusive and collaborative approach so that everyone who participates in the co-design workshops get equal opportunity to give feedback so that no one gets left behind and everyone contributes to the ongoing improvement of the participatory modeling process. But what is evaluation and what does it offer in participatory modeling? Evaluation is defined as the process of judging or calculating the quality, importance, amount, or value of something. As evaluations are broad and commonly applied to our everyday life, it can be difficult to understand what evaluations truly mean or look like. For our program, we're hoping to have those honest conversations to better understand local conditions and needs to allow us to consider more holistically the whole participatory modeling process. This can help us identify which aspects of participatory modeling are particularly important for policy decisions and community learning, as well as to enable the continuous improvement of participatory modeling methods. However, important gaps in knowledge remain as evaluations of participatory modeling are usually conducted without a rigorous methodological approach, and in most cases, evaluations are not conducted at all. To address some of these gaps, we developed an evaluation framework through the rigorous synthesis of research evidence. Our framework aims to assess 4 key outcomes: feasibility, is participatory modeling feasible? Value, what is the value of participatory modeling? Impact, what are the impacts of participatory modeling? Sustainability, are impacts sustained over time? Evaluation criteria is broken down across the project, individual, group, and system level to be able to observe changes in both the short and longer term. On a more practical level, our evaluation framework has been reflected into online surveys and interviews that will be implemented across 3 time points for each of our participating partner sites. All stakeholders who engage in the evaluation process will be reimbursed for their time, and the questions within the online surveys and interviews have been reviewed by the Brain and Mind Center's Youth Lived Experience Working Group. This working group consists of 10 culturally and linguistically diverse young people aged 17 to 30 years old who will play an important and ongoing role to review and be part of every element of our program and evaluation. Though evaluations are important, there are common key challenges to consider. In response to these challenges, our research team will implement novel solutions. For example, there may be some decreased motivation for people to conduct or participate in evaluations as outcomes of contributions are not always clear-cut. In response, a participatory action research approach lays the foundation of our overall program and evaluation, which allows us to embed cycles of reflection and iteration and action so that everyone's feedback can directly and continuously improve the participatory modeling process. However, this leads us to challenges number 2 and 3, which concern stakeholder burden and limited time and resources. To address these challenges, we came up with the idea to incorporate elements of game design, also known as gamification, within our online surveys. This not only makes the evaluation activities more engaging, but it also allows us to ask questions in a smarter way. For instance, patient journey mapping is a research process that helps us understand strengths and challenges within healthcare systems. They're usually developed, though, through lengthy workshops, and as we already have 3 co-design workshops for the participatory modeling process, we recognize that adding another layer of workshops may be additional time and resources that we just cannot afford. To address this, we can gamify online surveys to make sure that we can basically replace these workshops of patient journey mapping without having to compromise on the quality of our research learnings. So what do we mean by gamification? Games are all around us, and the convenience of technology has allowed people and organizations to incorporate gamification to increase user engagement, motivation, and learning. As an example, well-known apps such as Google and Uber incorporate gamification to motivate people to complete tasks and keep coming back. In this way, we will incorporate gamification within our online surveys to empower stakeholders to safely share their experiences while making the overall experience of completing surveys more enjoyable. This is an example of how we will incorporate gamification within our online survey. As this is a draft, elements of the activity such as wording will change as we conduct user testing with diverse participants such as young people with lived experience. Within this activity, we're hoping to conduct patient journey mapping without a formal workshop as I described in an earlier slide. Rather, we're hoping to use case studies or even give the opportunity for people to share their own help-seeking experiences to understand the strengths, opportunities, and challenges of the mental health system within our partner sites. Our evaluation approach is the first of its kind in the field of participatory modeling, and we're honored to be selected to give 2 presentations at the International Congress on Modeling and Simulation next month. We have also submitted 3 academic papers on our evaluation processes, and we have already been approached by researchers within the field who are keen to learn more about our evaluation approach. As community development and stakeholder engagement remains central to our program, we look forward to working closely with our participating partner sites in the evaluation planning and implementation processes, starting with our first 2 sites in 2022. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to speak, and I look forward to connecting with all of you soon.